And then I made Romantic Homicide, and it was so different than everything else I had made because it was actually sad. It was slow, it was sad, it was emotional.
The spotlight just exploded with chaos after R&B star David got caught on camera confessing to something unthinkable: straight-up murder. He openly admitted to taking the life of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, whose body was later discovered in Tesla. Even crazier, whispers say his whole squad already knew about it, but nobody said a word. The leaked audio is bone-chilling. It's David himself spilling murder details with no hesitation. She was just 15, yet David kept insisting she was the best girl for him, and footage even shows him out in public with Celeste before her tragic death. The internet is in shock, and people can't believe how reckless this all is. But the most damning piece? A leaked demo track titled Celeste that surfaced online on September 17, 2025. The exact same day, Celeste Rivas Hernandez's remains were confirmed. This wasn't just music. It sounded like a twisted confession hidden in plain sight. This so-called song turned out to be a 2-minute and 47-second confession dressed up as an R&B ballad. Fans can't believe it. People are saying he literally sang about the murder before anyone even knew what happened. The track feels haunting, laid over that signature lo-fi sound David's famous for. But it's the lyrics that got everyone shook. Investigators confirmed the voice and production matched David's style, and the file metadata doesn't lie. It was recorded back in December 2023 at a Hollywood home studio. That's a full 4 months before Celeste went missing, which makes this leak way darker than anyone imagined. The bridge is what's giving people chills. David actually name-drops Celeste and paints details that eerily match the real crime. He sings, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest, smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed." But it doesn't stop there. He follows up with, "Missing you so much makes me depressed, but I digress because..."
TMZ, just last night, the office listed the victim's gender as female, a height of about 5'1" and 71 pounds. This person has wavy black hair, and she apparently has a tattoo on her right index finger that reads, "Shh." Apparently, she had been wearing a tube top, black leggings, had a metal stud earring, and a metal chain bracelet in the shape of a W. According to TMZ, though, to be more specific here, there is no...
And right at that point, the track suddenly cuts into an instrumental solo, like he realized mid-song what he was revealing. David went way too far with those lyrics. That tattooed on her chest line lines up loosely with Celeste's finger tattoo that read, "Shh." And what's crazy is David went and got the exact same tattoo in September 2024. Then comes the line, "Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes," which has people straight up horrified. Because tow yard workers swore the Tesla where Celeste's body was found reeked of a foul, rotten stench after sitting there for months. The leak first hit X through Dazed's coverage after a Dropbox file, allegedly passed to a producer in January 2024, got out. Within hours, the post blew up, pulling in over 700 likes before spiraling across TikTok, YouTube, and SoundCloud like wildfire. By September 18th, the track had already passed 1.5 million streams across platforms, with fans dubbing it David's murder ballad. But the song itself wasn't even the wildest part. What really flipped this case upside down were leaked Discord chats and supposed call transcripts that point to something even darker, a coordinated cover-up. About 8 to 10 jaw-dropping screenshots from David's private fan Discord have been making the rounds, dated between March and August 2024. These leaks allegedly show him plotting how to get rid of Celeste's body while straight up bragging about silencing her for good. The most damning one? An April 10th, 2024 message just days after Celeste vanished. In a private chat, David allegedly typed, "Celeste flipped out last night, had to calm her permanent. Wrapped her tight in the FR plastic from Amazon. Park it in Hollywood Hills. Let it sit till towed." No tickets on it yet. When another member warned him that body disposal was risky AF, David supposedly shot back, "Tour alibi covers me. Send $1,000 each for silence." She's gone quiet forever.
Authorities are treating this as a death investigation. A spokesperson for the singer, whose real name, by the way, is David Anthony Burke, said in a statement to NBC News that he, quote, has been informed about what's happened, and although he is still out on tour, he is fully cooperating with the authorities. Now, we're going to talk about potential legal consequences here, but I have to say the singer may already be feeling the economic consequences.
What makes this so disturbing is how his words mirror reality. Celeste's remains were discovered dismembered, crammed into a black duffel bag and wrapped in layers of plastic, exactly how he described in those messages. And that chilling phrase, quiet forever, fans say it's David literally bragging about the murder. And even worse, it echoes the lyrics from one of his most popular tracks, turning his own music into a haunting self-snitch. Things got even darker with the leaked call transcripts, and these are beyond disturbing. One transcript from April 11th, 2024, captures a 28-minute call where David allegedly said, "Yo, Celeste wouldn't stop texting threats. Had to end it quick. Chokehold in the car. Now she's packed. Smells already. Drive the Tesla to the hills tomorrow. Leave keys under mat. Tow yard handles the rest. Body rots quiet." That chokehold line has shaken everyone because the official cause of death is still under review. But investigators are already considering strangulation based on the condition of the remains. And the plan he described? It matches perfectly with reality. The Tesla was ditched in the Hollywood Hills and later discovered after being towed for unpaid tickets. But David's chilling words didn't stop there. Another transcript from July 15th, 2024, allegedly caught him flexing. "Law, she silenced Eternal Trunk Tomb. No traces brag to the song, but fans too dumb. Paid y'all to forget." Now it's my best plot. This isn't just disturbing. It sounds like he was proud of what he did, twisting his crimes into art and mocking the very people who supported him. That trunk tomb line mixed with the brag to the song reference paints a picture of someone not just confessing, but flexing like he's proud of it. And the leaks suggest he wasn't only rapping about it, he was also throwing hush money around to keep mouths shut. Screenshots show David allegedly sent over $8,000 through Venmo and Cash App, dropping notes like, "For the Celeste, things stay silent," and "If cops ask, you never met her." One message even claimed, "I made it look like she ran away." That alone has the internet losing it. Now, David's reps are scrambling, dismissing all these leaks as malicious edits aimed to smear an innocent star. But here's the kicker. The LAPD hasn't ruled anything out, and they're not dismissing the leaks either. The real problem for David? Way too many of these alleged messages line up exactly with details police already uncovered at the crime scene. The timing, the location, the way the body was wrapped, it's all laid out in these leaked calls and messages. What makes it even more twisted is how David thought he could outsmart everyone by using his tour as an alibi. While he was on stage in different cities, the Tesla with Celeste's body was just sitting abandoned, rotting away in the Hollywood Hills. These leaks suggest he didn't just get lucky, he mapped it out months in advance, banking on his tour schedule to give him distance from the crime scene while the evidence decomposed in silence. The arrogance is unreal.
Got in touch with Celeste's mother. And the mother told us, because what the police had come out with was that the girl had a tattoo on her right index finger that said S.
Even before they could find out her name, they obviously had the body parts and they released some information.
He wasn't just hiding it. He was allegedly bragging in Discord chats and even turning his confession into a song, acting like fame made him untouchable. Once the leaks went live, the internet exploded like never before. Hashtags like hashtag D4vd leaks and hashtag Justice for Celeste tore through TikTok and X, pulling in over 1.2 billion views in just days. By September 18th, 2025, the backlash was brutal. Fans who once saw David as a wholesome young R&B voice now felt betrayed beyond words. One furious fan posted, "I'm so angry. I was confident he hadn't done anything. Waking up to this new evidence today makes me so sick." That reaction became the mood across the entire fandom. Devastated, disgusted, and ready to cancel him for good.
And it was on her index finger. It said SHHH with 3 dots or 4 dots. And that's all we knew. The mother told us that my daughter had a tattoo on her right index finger that said the same thing. And that the tattoo, she told us, in fact, Anakin here, she only spoke Spanish, so Anakin.
I pray for her family, and I pray Celeste gets her justice. David is sick and needs to be held accountable. That was just one of thousands of posts flooding the internet as heartbroken fans turned their shock into pure outrage. When Lizzo laid out the full timeline in a viral thread, it convinced most people that David's guilt was undeniable. According to the narrative spreading online, everything points to David grooming Celeste for years before things spiraled. Fans are now connecting the dots, alleging he manipulated her when she was barely a teen, then later killed her at 15. The part that disgusted people the most? He wasn't just living with that secret, he was allegedly making music about it. Writing lyrics about a body in the trunk, only for Celeste's remains to actually be found inside the trunk of his Tesla. That eerie overlap between art and crime is what really sealed the public's conviction against him. The sense of betrayal from fans was raw and painful to watch play out online. One post summed it up perfectly. I don't know if David was a murderer, but he definitely crossed the line. He knew her when she was 12, started dating her when she was 13, and he was 17. Now he's 20, and she's gone. The internet hasn't stopped reeling since. The leaked track quickly earned a brutal nickname online. Disgusting. Rest in peace, Celeste Rivas. With grooming allegations stacked on top of murder accusations, the outrage hit a fever pitch. A TikTok clip even claimed the Discord leaks proved David had been messaging Celeste since she was just 12, which only fueled the fire. But not everyone was ready to completely write him off. A handful of fans tried to defend him, though their voices were drowned out by the massive wave of backlash. One supporter at Caesar Louis ESPN tried to calm the storm, posting, "Please shut up. Nothing is confirmed yet. Do your research. If the worst happens and David is guilty of anything, I'll immediately change this account." I don't support that at all. Still, the skeptics kept pointing at David's supposed alibi and the chance that some leaks could be fake. Creator at Tyr noted, "From the whole article, David was on tour, so it's giving setup or some other scenario." This sparked the birth of the framed theory, where a small corner of fans claimed he was being targeted. But while defenders argued, the numbers told a different story. Streams for Romantic Homicide, one of his biggest songs, plunged nearly 40% overnight as boycotts spread across platforms. Even loyal fans couldn't ignore the storm anymore. Streams dipped at first, but then spiked over 300% as people started dissecting every lyric for hidden clues. This twisted murder bump showed just how controversy can skyrocket engagement, even when audiences are horrified by what they're hearing.
Said that she had a boyfriend.
That's right, that she had a boyfriend and his name was David. And the mother never really got in contact with David, like she never saw him.
She didn't know who the David was.
She had heard of him. And it seemed like the last time that she had seen her daughter was when she had gone out with.
The leaked Celeste track turned into a viral nightmare, blowing up on TikTok with edits syncing the lyrics to real news footage of the Tesla crime scene, racking up over 50 million views in days. The most chilling viral moment? The bridge, where David croons about Celeste being wrapped up tight, while in reality, her body was found wrapped in layers of plastic in the Tesla's trunk. That haunting overlap had social media calling it one of the creepiest viral crossovers in history. And what's David doing through all this? Absolutely nothing online. His last post on X was back on September 10th, just pushing a tour promo, and he hasn't addressed the storm at all. Instead, his team's been running defense, dropping carefully worded statements to the press while avoiding the hard questions. TMZ even reported on an alleged run-in with Celeste's grieving mom, adding fuel to the fire. NBC News managed to get a longer response from David's camp, but it only made things worse. They called the situation a tragedy and dismissed the evidence as coincidental art twisted into lies, while adding that they were praying for Celeste's family. But that phrase, coincidental art, hit fans like a slap in the face, especially with lyrics and leaked chats that seem to mirror the crime scene detail for detail. What speaks louder than his team's words is David's own silence. He abruptly canceled his Seattle shows on September 17th and 18th and postponed his San Francisco dates, blaming personal matters. For an artist who built his brand on oversharing and connecting with fans online, his sudden vanishing act has only fueled suspicions. Now, the internet has split into three main camps, each convinced their theory is the truth. The first, and by far the biggest, claims David is guilty of a premeditated crime. According to sentiment analysis of X posts, nearly 70% of online chatter falls into this camp. Supporters point to the leaked screenshots, the matching tattoos, the timeline placing him in LA when Celeste vanished, and of course, those chillingly specific lyrics. The second big theory making waves is that David was actually framed, set up by rivals or obsessive fans who wanted to ruin his career. His defenders argue the timeline doesn't add up, pointing out he was on tour during key dates, and they question the leaks themselves. They highlight the missing watermarks, the lack of official verification, and even float the idea that deepfake tech could have generated the audio. Some even dismiss the tattoo evidence, claiming the shh ink design is way too common to link directly to him. The third theory, though less popular, still has a vocal crowd. About 10% of online chatter leans toward the idea that Celeste's death wasn't premeditated murder, but a fight that spiraled out of control. This view acknowledges the disturbing grooming allegations, but suggests David panicked after an argument escalated, leading to a rushed cover-up rather than a calculated killing. Reddit sleuths back this up, pointing to leaked chats where David allegedly wrote, "Celeste flipped out last night," before describing what came next. The whole saga has sparked comparisons to infamous scandals like R. Kelly, where fame and power shielded disturbing behavior for years. Social media is now locked in a frenzy, with every new leak, theory, and fan breakdown pushing this case deeper into the spotlight, and it shows no signs of slowing down. Whether these leaks are 100% legit or cleverly fabricated, one thing is clear. They've already obliterated David's reputation in the court of public opinion. The internet has practically convicted him already, leaving the big question hanging. Will law enforcement uncover enough real evidence to back up the viral accusations? Or will this remain one of the most shocking cases of trial by social media in music history? David Anthony Burke, known simply as David, was living the dream until September 2025 flipped his world into a nightmare. Born March 28, 2005, in Queens and raised in Houston, this 20-year-old indie R&B breakout went from recording in his sister's closet to climbing Billboard charts, all while building a global fan base that saw him as authentic and relatable. His come-up was the stuff of legend. Teaching himself production on FL Studio, he first uploaded tracks to SoundCloud in late 2021, mixing rap, indie, and R&B with raw, lo-fi vibes that cut through the polished noise of the industry. Gen Z listeners ate it up, calling him the voice of a new era. But now, those same fans are leading the charge to tear him down. What was once a story about a bedroom producer who made it has turned into a chilling reminder of how unchecked fame and unfiltered access to vulnerable fans can spiral into something terrifying. And this might only be the beginning. David's breakthrough moment hit in July 2022 with Romantic Homicide, a track that blew up on TikTok and flipped his life overnight. The single climbed to number 33 on the Billboard Hot 100 and eventually crossed 1 billion streams on Spotify. With lyrics like, "I don't love you, but I still act like I do. Your heart was just too big for me. I didn't mean to make you cry. I just wanted to see you bleed." Fans once brushed it off as teenage angst put to music. But now, those same lines are being reread as chilling confessions hiding in plain sight. By 2024, David was everywhere, dropping high-profile collabs, landing his track Feel It on Amazon's Invincible soundtrack, and even hitting the stage at Coachella. His debut album Withered, released in April 2025, opened at #1 on the Billboard 200, cementing his spot as one of the hottest rising stars in the game. From sold-out tours to major label deals, it looked like David was living every young artist's dream. But behind that superstar glow, darker whispers were starting to build. Rumors that his fame wasn't just opening doors, it was also masking something deeply sinister. The disturbing story of David and Celeste Rivas began in the same online spaces where too many shady connections start: social media and fan servers. Celeste Rivas Hernandez was a 15-year-old aspiring TikTok creator from Lake Elsinore, California. Just 5 feet 2 inches with long, wavy black hair, she first connected with David through TikTok and his fan Discord back in 2022, when she was barely entering her teens and he was already 17. Leaked screenshots from his Discord, ironically named David's pets, allegedly show their interactions kicking off in late 2022 under usernames like CelesteXOXO13 and David_homicide. According to those leaks, David noticed her after she uploaded a TikTok cover of Romantic Homicide. From there, the messages reportedly followed a grooming playbook: constant flattery, pushing for secrecy, dangling promises of music opportunities, and slowly isolating her from her circle. One February 2023 message allegedly shows David writing, "Hey cutie, saw your TikTok. You got that vibe I write about. What's your age?" When Celeste replied, 12 LOL, he allegedly answered, "Age is just a number. Let's collab. Keep it secret." By June 2023, leaks suggest he was already offering to fly her to LA while she was still a young teen, sending Venmo transfers labeled Art Inspo to her friends as payoff money to keep everything quiet. The alleged relationship between David and Celeste only escalated through 2023 and into 2024. By early that year, when Celeste was just 14 and David 19, fans inside his Discord started whispering that they were more than friends. In March 2024, David allegedly dropped a bomb in chat, writing, "She's my muse. Kept it low-key 'cause age vibes. Shh, our secret." The tattoos became the most chilling symbol of this alleged connection. Celeste had a small shh tattoo on her right index finger, shown off in a 2023 TikTok. Then, months after she vanished, David went and got the exact same tattoo in September 2024. Was it a twisted memorial or a trophy to mark what happened? Either way, fans called it disturbing beyond words. Celeste's mother, Maria Hernandez, told TMZ that her daughter had mentioned a boyfriend named David in early 2024. They communicated over Snapchat, and Celeste talked about visiting LA. But Maria stressed the family never approved of these trips, making her disappearance all the more devastating. The tragedy reached its breaking point on April 5th, 2024, when Celeste was last seen alive. That evening, she was supposed to go to the movies with her brother Matthew in Lake Elsinore, but she never came back. Celeste never showed up to the movie that night, and her phone went dark after sending one final Snapchat at 7:42 p.m. In that message, she mentioned heading to LA for a cool opportunity. Her friends later recalled how excited she was, bragging about connecting with a famous singer online. Discord logs allegedly backed this up, showing David himself arranging a meetup that same week. What happened next, if the leaked audio and chats are to be believed, was a heated argument that turned deadly. That nightmare finally came full circle on September 8th, 2025. Workers at Hollywood Tow and Auto Storage reported a foul, unbearable odor coming from David's abandoned black Tesla Model 3, which had been sitting in their lot after being towed from the Hollywood Hills. When they opened the front trunk, they found a black duffel bag stuffed inside. Inside was the severely decomposed and dismembered body of Celeste Rivas, wrapped tightly in plastic. The remains were dressed in a black tube top, black leggings, a yellow bracelet, and stud earrings, the exact outfit Celeste was last seen wearing on April 5th, 2024. The gruesome dismemberment suggested a calculated effort to make her body fit into the limited trunk space, showing a chilling level of premeditation and cold-blooded callousness that's left the world horrified. On September 17th, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner officially classified Celeste's death as a homicide, though the exact cause is still pending toxicology results. Because of the advanced decomposition, investigators couldn't lock down every detail, but the estimated time of death lines up almost perfectly with her disappearance in April 2024. That means her body sat hidden for nearly 5 months inside an abandoned Tesla, decaying in silence while the world searched for answers. The scandal has shattered David's career beyond repair. Streams initially spiked 300% thanks to morbid curiosity, but the boycott hit just as fast. Fans deleting playlists, brands cutting ties, and his Withered World Tour now facing cancellations as venues refuse to host him under the cloud of a murder scandal. David's camp insists he's innocent, repeating the line that this is just coincidental art twisted into lies. They claim he's fully cooperating with investigators, but the public isn't buying it. Online, the leaked evidence has become a digital scarlet letter, replayed and reposted endlessly, fueling nonstop outrage. As of September 18th, 2025, David hasn't been formally charged, but he remains a top person of interest in an active homicide case that could define his legacy forever. Right now, the LAPD is digging deep, analyzing DNA, phone records, and Tesla GPS data, while the entire world holds its breath waiting for justice for Celeste Rivas. And whether those leaked confessions turn out to be real or fake, one thing's already certain. David's career is in ruins, and this case has sparked a massive conversation about how fame can be twisted to target vulnerable young fans. This story is far from over, and you know we'll be following every update. Make sure you hit that like button, smash subscribe, and stay locked in for more shocking stories just like this.